Hi my friends. Current CC drama greets you. Chinese drama The Last Immortal Part 14. Seeing that Ayin's injury was not serious, Kuching finally felt relieved and told her to take a good rest. Hong Silk took advantage of Kuching's recovery and played the forgetting flute to take away Kuching's black hair, causing the intimate scenes between him and Ayin to disappear into smoke. Although the red silk wanted to burn the green silk was too tough. So I had to give up the idea of destroying it and put it into the flute of forgetfulness for the time being. Early in the morning, Ayin looked in the mirror and dressed up carefully. Hong Yi recalled what his aunt Hongruo had said. Although she had been acting strangely recently, one thing she said was absolutely right. Since ancient times, the worlds of immortals and demons had not dealt with each other, so he should leave Day's Mountain as soon as possible. Before leaving, Hong Yi invited Ayin to follow him back to Day's Mountain to no avail. Instead, he heard that Ayin wanted to form a marriage contract with Kuching and he felt angry, annoyed, and slightly disappointed. However, after Kuching lost his love, he treated Ayin more distantly and indifferently. When the two came to the Yanshan Palace, Ayin discovered that Kuching wanted to form a master-servant contract, and bluntly said that she regarded her as a junior sister, and there was no so-called love between a man and a woman. Ayin asked Kuching if he remembered his confession during worship, and even kissed Kuching. He was so frightened that he pushed Ayin away, turned around and hid. When Ayin came outside the room in Kuching, she happened to meet the oncoming red silk and was warned not to waste her efforts. The red silk reveals Kuching's true identity, indicating that as the only son of the true god of Yi and the true god of the emperor's family, he is also the true god who looks down on all living beings in the three realms. How could he fall in love with her, a 100-year-old water-condensing beast with a low life? As soon as these words came out, Ayin's eyes turned red, and she retorted that even if the life of the water condensation beasts was short, it did not mean that they were inferior. Kuching heard Hong Silk's words and hurriedly came over to explain to Ayin. But Ayin couldn't listen anymore. After confirming that he was the little god, he got that he had been deceiving him from beginning to end. Xianxia sat alone in the pavilion with a wooden statue engraved with the moon. Ayin looked at his affection for a mortal woman and couldn't help but ask him why he chose to fall in love even though they knew that their status was very different. After this incident, Xianxia felt regretful. If he had to choose again, he would rather stay away from Wanyu than let her suffer the end of her soul being destroyed. Because of this, Xianxia persuaded Ayin to let go of her obsession with Kuching, because the person who ultimately suffers is always the one with the weakest strength and the most harm. Xianxia heard the conversation between Xianxia and Ayin and felt a little sorry, especially when Ayin was so sad. In order to help them forget each other as soon as possible, Xianxia decided to separate the two of them first, find Kuching alone and let him go to the Tiangong to perform his duties and also assist Emperor Lanfeng in organizing the Lingyao conference. Kuching subconsciously proposed to take Ayin there, but seeing Xianxia's expression of embarrassment, he had to give up the idea. Xianxia found the location of Ningyan Mountain for Ayin and told her that she could find the cave by following the map. Ayin heard that Kuching had gone to the Heavenly Palace, but he didn't say goodbye to her before leaving, apparently deliberately avoiding her. Xianxia conveyed Kuching's words and hoped that Ayin would take good care of herself. Ayin pretended to be indifferent, but in fact she was very sad. When Hong Yi returned to the monster clan, he could not help but think of Ayin. Realizing that no one could replace her, he found an opportunity to go to Day's Mountain. As a result, he learned that Ayin and Kuching had not formed a marriage contract. They are already far apart. At this moment, Ayin came to Ningyan Mountain and saw that the place was full of spiritual energy and was indeed a good place for water condensation beasts to recuperate, so she put Ayu into the lake and looked forward to the birth of her sister. On the other hand, Hong Yi hurriedly came to find him, and Ayin asked him about the impact of the Sanqing stone on relationships. He guessed that Kuching's confession to him was controlled by the Sanqing stone, and the so-called marriage contract was probably just an act. Immortal Lord Tiangong, such as sensed the changes in Ningyan Mountain, came to check the situation and ordered Ayin and Hong Yi to leave quickly. Yan Shuang knew Ayin's troubles and gave her an idea. As long as she got an official position in the Tiangong and was promoted to a 5th-level immortal official, she would be eligible to occupy a mountain and open a cave. On the other side, The Peacock King brought his children to the banquet, personally discussed the marriage with Emperor Lanfeng, and wanted his son Hua Yan to be the head of the Saibing Palace. Emperor Lanfeng was upright and would not favor public interests for personal gain. He emphasized that the position of head of the palace was a matter of fairness in the immortal world, and he needed to rely on his own strength to participate in the immortal examination. Hua Shu pretended to be considerate and also said some kind words to her younger brother. Emperor Lanfeng had no choice but to let him start as acting head of the palace, which made the Peacock King slightly dissatisfied.